You're doing carnivore wrong. Calorie and macro counting edition. You're going to want to save this video to play it over and over. And while you're at it, like, comment, follow, and share. Let's engage. You're doing carnivore wrong if you count or consider macros, calories, a food scale, and percentages. Carnivores don't count calories, macros, they don't weigh their food, nor do they figure out the percentages of fat and protein they're supposed to eat. Those are leftover remnants of your calorie counting days or your carnivore coach's calorie counting days, because many carnivore coaches transition from that macro-based system into carnivore, and they bring some of that ideology with them. I am Celeste Mumford. I am the creator of the Mumford Method, which is a system I formulated to reverse prediabetes. I reversed prediabetes on my ketogenic lifestyle in 2.5 months. I also reversed prediabetes. I reversed prediabetes and borderline high blood pressure in 2.5 months. I released over 50 pounds in 5.5 months. I started this ketogenic lifestyle, which includes carnivore, January 2nd of 2020. I have not cheated. No cheat days, because I've created a lifestyle I don't have to cheat on. I've never counted a macro, calorie, never weighed anything, and don't eat by percentages. I don't eat food that is killing me in moderation. I don't feed diabetes on Tuesdays when I call it a cheat day. I don't reward myself with things that are hurting my body. I don't believe in eating things in balance, meaning eating to prevent diabetes and then eating things that give you diabetes. That's pure insanity, and that is stupid. It's stupid. Okay? So, back to the point, the topic. Carnivores don't count calories or macros. They don't weigh food, and they don't consider percentages. I get this question a lot, so I figured I'll just answer it. Remember, I'm here to break systems. I'm here to break strategies. I'm here to break status quo. I'm here to break chains and help you to get out of bondage by giving you truth, right? It's the truth that makes you free. So I'm trying to get some of y'all free by breaking these ideologies that are keeping you stuck in lack and limitation and bondage and fear and guilt and all that other stuff. But anywho, you don't count calories or macros. You don't weigh food. And here's an indication that even though with the mouth, your carnivore coach is telling you you don't count macros or calories on carnivore, I agree with that 100%. You should not have to count calories on a ketogenic diet at all, because you're not eating carbs, starch, or sugar, or at least you're not eating high glycemic index foods. Right? So there's no need to count. The only time you count calories is when you're eating sugar, carbs, and starch. You don't need to count calories when you're eating fat for nutrients, energy, and fuel, and you don't need to count protein when you're eating it for function. Okay, so let's unlearn that behavior and rethink it. Okay? So when your carnivore coach says anything remotely similar to, let me input your numbers, know that they're calculating something. Chances are they're calculating macros. You don't need to know my numbers on carnivore. You don't need to know my numbers. You don't need to know my numbers for me to be successful on carnivore. Right? So whenever your carnivore coach says, let me input your numbers, they're trying to give you a system that it is calorie counting or macro counting. Even though their mouth is saying we don't count calories or macros, the behaviors are telling you they count calories and macros. Believe what they do, not what they say. Okay? When your carnivore coach, or when you read something and you come up with this idea on your own even, that you're supposed to eat 80% fat to 20% protein, How do you know that you're getting 80% fat unless you're figuring it out? There is a calculation. There is a formula that people input to tell you that, to let you know how much fat you're getting. So when your carnivore coach tells you to eat 80% fat to 20% protein, and they're asking for your numbers so they can input them, know that they're counting at least macros and they're counting percentages. You say one thing and you do something else. You don't count calories or macros on carnivore. You're doing it wrong if you're depending on a system that is broken. Calorie counting does not work. And many of you know calorie counting doesn't work because you keep starting over 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times a year on the same system, and it does not work. Right? But we're not talking about calorie counters. Y'all do what you do. Do what you do. Carnivores, I'm trying to show you that you need to learn your body. You need to learn your hunger cues. Another thing carnivore coaches tell you is eat when you're hungry, and then when you're full, eat a little bit more. That is BS. They're teaching you to still practice gluttony. They're still depending on 3 and 4 meals a day, which comes from that macro-based system. When you're eating high quality, nutrient dense food that your body can identify, recognize, and utilize, when you're eating just fat and protein for the most part, you should be satiated longer. You should get fuller faster. There's absolutely no need to eat until you're full and then eat a little bit more. They're teaching you to continue with gluttony. You eat. You have to learn your body. You have to learn your body's hunger cues. You have to know when you are truly hungry and when you're full. When you are full, you have to trust yourself enough to know that I've nourished my body enough and I can back away from the table. It's stupid to eat a little bit more when you're full, especially when you've already eaten. That's your 3rd meal of the day. If you have to be on carnivore and eat 3 meals a day, you're not eating properly. You're not eating enough food. Because carnivores, lifestyle of carnivores is eating 1 time a day, possibly 2. The carnivores never ate 3 times a day. There's no need for you to eat 3 times a day when you're eating a ribeye and freaking eggs. Right? You eat 3, 4 times a day when you're eating carbs, when you're counting calories, when you're giving percentages. That's when you might eat more times a day. You have got to learn discernment. You have got to walk in discernment. Many of us are trusting outsiders. Like some of y'all will trust me before you trust your own body. I want you to trust your own body. Now, I am a certified empowerment coach. I've been for many years. I teach a holistic approach, spirit, soul, and body. So I'm not here to tell you about a ketogenic diet for you to lose weight. That's the minimum. That's like the bottom of the barrel. I'm here to help you get healthy in your spirit man, in your soulish realm, in your emotions. And food is instrumental to that. The fat loss will come. I can show you how to burn fat for fuel and energy. Your carnivore coaches are not showing you how to burn fat for fuel and energy. They're not showing you how to use the system to your advantage. But anyway, that's not what this post is about. On the ketogenic lifestyle, and I know I'm ruffling some feathers now, but you know, that's what I do. On this ketogenic lifestyle, on this carnivore journey, you don't count calories. You don't count macros. There's no need to weigh food. There's no need to figure out how much fat to protein you're going to eat. You just eat food. You add fat to lean foods. You don't add fat to fatty foods. It's not rocket science. And you don't need me as a coach. I'm not a carnivore coach. I eat carnivore, but I'm not carnivore. You don't need a carnivore coach to tell you how to eat. Trust your body. Like, comment, follow, and share. Let's discuss it. Do you count calories? Do you count macros on your carnivoric or ketogenic lifestyle? Let's talk about it. Make today the best day ever on purpose. Love ya. Later.